Hello humans, welcome to the Don't Freak Out podcast. Today's guest is a stop-motion animator who has built one of the most distinctive creative brands on social media. Please welcome Ben Treat, the creator of Frantic Frames. Hi Ben, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, very, very good. You are the first guest.
Thank you.
The number one.
I feel so fancy being the first guest. That's awesome.
Right, it's great. Cheers to that.
Hey, that's right. Wow.
The first one, we're at South by Southwest. Neither of us is from here, but what a crazy moment to be here. Right?
I know.
Like this part of the year, I just feel like it's
It is kind of crazy. Yeah, South by is like kind of like everything happening all at once.
It's so incredible. I've been here before a couple of years ago, but as a musician, the work that you do is freaking amazing.
Thank you.
It's so
That's
good.
so sweet.
You do stop motion, and you're just, you're even doing it right now. It's
I know.
so cool.
You give me clay, and I'm just gonna start going with it.
And I recognize that character that you have there.
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
It does. Bobby Bean.
Bobby Bean.
Yeah, he's a little guy. Just kind of easy to make out of clay, so it's kind of my default. I'll make Bobby Bean, and then I'll throw a little video of him on my Instagram.
So like you pat him and stuff.
Yeah.
How long does it take you usually to like make a whole video?
Oh man, it's like all over the place. I think a good average would be like 50 hours.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it takes a while, and it depends on like the length and the medium. But yeah, claymation is just labor of love. You know, you got to really like sink into every single frame. So, but it's like such a flow state. The time just flies by. You never really notice.
What is like what is the longest that you've been doing it for? Like, that you just realize, oh shit.
Oh gosh, definitely done like a 10-hour just straight lock in. Yeah.
No bathroom breaks, no nothing.
I mean, I'll make a lot of cups of tea, like, but it's like part of my flow state. I just like get up, walk to the kettle, click it on. I'm like zoned into a podcast. I'll like aggressively stare out the window while the tea boils. I'll go right back to it.
Which type of podcast do you like to listen to?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. Mostly like people talking about their lives and their feelings. I'm a big fan of like the Zerky Show, Emma Chamberlain's podcast, Brittany Broski. A lot of the people who are just like solo and they just like talk into the void.
Right.
I'm impressed by that.
Oh yeah,
they just go forever.
Right.
It's so much fun.
It's so good. And like, when did you get started with everything that you were doing?
The very, very first thing, I used to make like little dioramas out of food as a kid. I mean, I've been doing this since I was like 8. So,
oh, wow.
And then I have like creative parents. So I guess like I was around all sorts of like crafts and did miscellaneous stuff my whole childhood. But
nice.
Yeah, I got into stop motion pretty early on. It was like Legos were pretty animatable. I feel like everybody kind of grew up animating Legos in one way or another.
Yeah.
So I used to like take my own hair out and I would tie it to like Lego TNT and I would like hold it up and take photos like it was flying through the air and I'd have like people throw explosions and stuff.
It's amazing.
It was all sorts of stuff, just like whatever you do when you're a bored kid, you know?
I actually thought of having Legos here.
Oh man,
point. So like,
dude,
yeah,
you would not have
coming.
gotten a word out of me if you put Legos here. It would have just been me like sorting through, making all that noise.
But only the simple Legos. I feel like I don't like the pre-made ones. They kind of kill the imagination. I feel like then you just have a task to do.
That's a good point.
I prefer like the basic ones.
Yeah,
right? Like
that makes sense. Can actually like create from nothing then.
Right.
It doesn't tell you what you're supposed to create.
So now whenever I hear Legos, I just think of the pain that you feel on your foot when you step on.
It's a good feeling, right? Like it's always in the morning at like 2 a.m. you're walking to get like a glass of water.
Yeah.
And somehow like on the hardest pavement ever, just pointed just straight into your foot.
Yeah. I feel like it hasn't happened since I was a kid, but I'm sure it happens a lot to parents.
Oh, true, dude. No, you gotta just like lay Legos out to live a little. You know, I think in our adulthood we just gotta start spreading them out and just randomly in the middle of the night step on them just to relive those memories, right?
Yesterday, I think I saw a video of like there's like this New Zealand commercial.
Oh yeah.
And there's a mother who's saying, "Buy this for your children," and like it's so
I saw
beautiful,
that.
whatever. And
No
she
shot.
steps on a toy and she.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, she totally like falls straight into like a glass table.
Yeah,
right?
and then she's like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, so shocking. That's so funny. Our For You pages are the same. I literally
What
saw
was
that
that
same
even
one.
for?
Oh man, I think it was like a safety, like I
Like
watch out
put
for
away
your
your
kids.
toys
I don't
or
know.
something?
Yeah, put away
Like-
your toys. Like accidents can happen type reminder thing.
Right.
So random.
It's very niche.
It
as
is
a
niche.
reminder.
That's true. Yeah.
So when did you start Frantic Frames?
Yeah. That's funny. Actually, New Zealand is relevant to me because I was in New Zealand. My whole family moved there when I was 14, 15. And then I did all my high school years in New Zealand. And like I kept moving my whole life, so I didn't really have many friends. I kept like relocating all the time. So I really started getting into it around then, like 14. I started Frantic Frames, I think when I was 16. Before Frantic Frames, I ran a Musically account, if you remember Musically.
Oh yeah.
I did that for like a solid year, and I posted every day on that just to try and like get into making stuff. My cousin, he was on Musically, and I didn't even know it was a thing. I was like really kept away from social media as a kid, so yeah, I moved to New Zealand. My cousin introduced me to like social media, and then I built Frantic Frames kind of as a like advertising method to build up a Fiverr account I was running. I was selling like little animations for like $5.
Oh wow.
And yeah, Frantic Frames I just like kept doing for a solid year straight. Like for the first year I did like a challenge animating every day. And then I think it
On
just
TikTok?
on Instagram originally. I built up a small following on Instagram, and then yeah, 2020, my family, or actually it was 2019, my family moved back to the U.S. and I had all this content, all these videos, and then I'd heard about TikTok, and then I had just started like funneling all this old content I made into TikTok, and 2020 TikTok was different, dude. Like everything was just taking off. It
Right.
was kind of crazy.
How long did did that last? Like all of your pre-made content?
Dang, I mean, not long enough. I like probably like 4 months, and I was posting maybe twice a week. And I was still making videos at the time. Like I was going crazy. So I'm glad I locked in and just like really funneled videos out during that time because I kind of built off of it a lot. It was a good like jumping block. But
All of these social media apps, they require so much input. Like
yeah,
you're just supposed to be like a machine gun, just like
no kidding.
putting it. But the stuff that you do it takes so long. You feel an urge to like have to post or like, what's your relationship with the algorithm?
Oh yeah, that's good. I do feel an urge. I feel like I get that effect whenever I like open my account and I see that I like lost followers. Oh, it's the worst feeling.
It is.
It really, yeah. I think it's just like being in this job. It's hard to not like really take a lot of that like really seriously because it's your career.
And personally too, because like you're putting all your hours and
Yeah, it's like your art, you know, it's
Yeah.
such like a reflection. Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job of separating my art from like my identity in a lot of ways. I don't let it define me, but the business of like social media still feels like something I gotta pay attention to. I gotta like be on top of my game. And there'll be months where I just like am not in it and that doesn't feel good. I'll lose followers. I just like honestly a big part of it is like keeping people around you to hold you accountable with like other social media creators. That helps me a lot.
right, yeah. I feel like a lot of people define themselves for whatever they do, and you know, like art today, I feel like it's become a job. Like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
if you're an artist, that means that you make money off of it, and it's your job and it's your career. It's deeper than that, and a long time ago when jobs didn't even exist, I feel like we just did things. I mean, even dancing, like we probably were around like a fire, dancing and singing and whatever,
No
and you
kidding.
didn't have to like go take classes or say that that was your career or whatever. We've kind of lost that. I'm just shocked by how many people just never do anything artistic.
Yeah, people don't define themselves as artistic if it's not like making money or
Right.
it's weird how that happens. I think that is kind of a big loss when we have to make money from the art for it to feel like an actual thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most people are artistic. I
Yeah.
think it just their art shows up in all sorts of ways because
Yeah.
art is just kind of expression and
I don't think we are okay. I think we are in a pretty damn tough spot. I mean,
that's
it's
true. Yeah.
just like I think everything around us. I mean, from the food that we eat to the things that we consume to like the grab that the algorithm has on us, and the fact that our jobs have become fully our identity for most of it.
Yeah, and we've kind of like the whole format has switched quite a lot. People have to have gigs. It's like the gig economy or whatever. People are all like running their little jobs to like supplement their big job just to like survive. And now,
Yeah.
yeah, art has become so commoditized.
Yeah.
We switched to like, we ran out of space. So we just started eating people's time as the last like frontier of capitalism. Because
Right.
that's like all we have left. So it's just advertising space in your own brain. It's not great. It's definitely like taken over. And I definitely like feel that because there's no way to escape it really.
Yeah,
At least if
no.
you, I mean, I guess you could like move to the middle of nowhere, do that
Right.
like farm life, but
But I feel like sooner or later it's going to reach you.
it does somehow. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
I'm from Argentina, and I like look at how life is there, and I think it's a little bit behind in a sense. Like
Yeah.
people there still have really strong connection. Well, Argentina specifically, like friendships are everything. You'll be
Yeah.
probably just hanging out until like 4 a.m. for whatever, and just I think things like that, at least in the cities that I've lived in the U.S., they just don't happen. Like people just
Yeah.
don't have the same. Like people will say like, oh yeah, he's my friend, she's my friend, but maybe they see them once a week or
I
once a
know.
month.
Oh, once a week is like, that's got to be your best friend because
Right.
people do not see each other very often anymore. At least
so
in
crazy.
the States, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, people are so job oriented here.
Yeah.
kind of
Even in
everything.
Europe, I see a difference where
Oh,
like
definitely.
people still hang out and have friends and
Oh my gosh, I love Europe for that. Yeah, I
Me
was just
too.
over there and people actually took it easy. People just like sit on their front porch and hang out with their friends. It's awesome.
yeah. Whenever I say I love making art, you should make art, we should all make art, like well, it's easy for you to say because you have, I don't know, privilege or whatever, this and that. I feel like people assume that stuff, and some of it might be true in some cases. Like if your parents are wealthy or
Yeah,
anything, great for you. That's probably super, super good.
Right.
And you can probably choose what to do and what not to do or whatever. But I feel like it's something that it should be as important as learning math or
Yeah.
learning anything or even drinking water. I mean, just it's like establishing a relationship with yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Because it's pretty innately human. It's just expression. Yeah. We definitely should implement more of that. Did you have many like art classes growing up, or is it ever like a thing in your school where there's like some sort of
Well,
like emphasis on that?
like the beauty of the place that I was in Argentina is like this town in the north. It was very inexpensive to do all sorts of things. Like
Yeah.
if you live in New York, let's say, and you want to do piano lessons and singing lessons and this and this and that, like you just and have so many activities, you probably have to be super ultra rich.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was able to do classes of. I mean, I'm not even going to start listing them because it's ridiculous. Like
you did so many things.
everything.
Wow.
And we were like middle lower class. Like it was just kind of it was free or
Yeah.
it was very cheap.
That's awesome.
Because education there actually people will have like 2 or 3 careers. Like my therapist, he was first an accountant, then he was an actor,
Oh, wow.
and then he became a therapist.
Wow. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I
it's so crazy.
feel like art has become pretty accessible
Yeah,
just in like the nature. I mean, I guess it depends on what we're talking about because I guess it's always been accessible to some degree depending on what kind of art we're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like social media probably just isn't helping in the sense that all you really consume all day is like the best of the best because the algorithms kind of just filter that to you, and then people feel like not very encouraged to really try because all that they're really watching is like the best. It's the same with like beauty standards and everything. It's just
Right.
we've gotten to the end of the line where we're kind of just late stage.
but what is the best, right? And I
Yeah,
think we get there, and we were just talking about this earlier. We were setting up this whole set like it's
Yeah.
a bunch of us just putting things together, and it looks so great, and
That
it's
is
so
awesome.
we were just kind of set it up, and there's no money involved, and it's just passion and people wanting to create something, and I feel like the corporation universe it's such a huge thing that's taken over
Yeah.
in such a crazy it's like this giant monster that's over everybody,
Yeah,
and
no
it's just
kidding.
that the things that are better, like the super polished, super whatever, they start to like lose value. Like sometimes I just watch like these huge action films or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not into it anymore.
Yeah, it's
I was
kinda-
into like all the Spider-Man at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Because it was new, but like now, I just feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the pendulum swing going the other way now. We've been, yeah, everything went like we can kind of like see it in like Disney when all the animation styles switched from like the cool like Treasure Planet stuff, like where it was all like hand drawn. And then we went all 3D and we kind of like maxed that out. And now it's kind of swinging back. Like Spider-Verse changed the game with animation and bringing in mixed frame rates, mixed mediums. And now people are realizing they kind of like that again. They don't really like the polished so much. But polished is kind of like taken over. People like attribute polished to good.
To money.
And yeah, well, it's normally, yeah, it's all comes from money. So,
Right.
and it's just not the case because the polished removes the imperfection, which is like what humans relate to.
Exactly.
And that's like what art is human expression. So it's funny to remove the human from art. It's like, what are we doing, kind of?
What is the important thing, right? Like what scarcity, I think, is what kind of catches your attention. Like if you see something that's unique, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And probably a couple of years ago, it was unique to see a huge production or like a lot of money thrown at something.
True.
But now it's a lot more common. And now with AI, you can kind of start to replicate any of that very
kidding.
easily,
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah.
So that opens up a whole new thing. Because like the stuff that you're doing, for example, like I mean that you're doing it with your hands.
Oh, yeah.
A machine could literally never do it.
Yeah.
What is the value, do you think, between your experience versus what it means to put it out there?
Yeah, you can definitely pull from different aspects of the art, and artists kind of decide what the art is for. Like I definitely think I know artists who very much make art to share what they are experiencing, and then there's also artists who want to make art just to almost experience it more themselves. Like I know art it's incredibly therapeutic for working through your own emotions. So I feel like different art has different purposes. A lot of the art I create tends to be to share outwardly with people what I'm experiencing. So, I mean, that's why I end up posting it on social media so that people can see it and resonate with it. And but then I know a lot of artists who create just truly for themselves, and like that is the full meaning that they pull from it is like what emotions they work through internally, and then they never even want to share it, or like that's kind of their own
Right.
discretion. And I do respect that quite a bit. It's beautiful because that's just kind of what being alive is. People do this inherently.
Yeah.
It's just journaling, it's therapy, it's all the things.
Yeah.
And art's just one of the oldest forms of that.
Do you ever like create something and not share it? Or do you tend to share most of the stuff?
I create stuff that I don't share. And it tends to be stuff that like feels more expressive to me, like directly to my own brain. Like I definitely like poetry, or like I love journaling, like a lot of stuff that's more, I guess, I don't even know, because a lot of visual arts tend to be more interpretive, and they're like, you can pour emotion into them, but then they're so fun and they're so cool when I'm done. I'm like, I want to share it. So normally I leave the visual arts to that sharing platform, but like written arts, or like there's like just certain experiences that I keep internally. I think you find your balance of what you want to share and what you enjoy sharing, and then what is just personal to you. I think that's really nice to have both.
Yeah. And where do you see this going?
It's really nice to keep some things private almost. I definitely think certain art forms I would like to just keep for me, because if you try and commoditize them, like, or I don't know, it just becomes that when you start sharing so much. If like social media is such a pipeline to like it being a job,
Yeah.
and then also it becomes such a necessity for it to be validated through money, or
Yeah.
like recognition, and then you start to think that your art isn't good if it's not getting that like money, opportunity, recognition, and then it like removes the purpose from it originally. So there's certain arts that I don't think I'm gonna take out into the world, that I'll just keep for me, but I definitely think it's always really exciting to explore like the different avenues. I'm enamored with your experience and how you've gone through all these different types of art and expression, because I'm sure it gives you quite the palette for life, and like that internal and external like experience.
Well, actually, I feel very similar to what you're saying. With music, especially, like music for me is super spiritual,
Oh yeah.
and I just hate that. Like good things take time.
Oh,
you
no
know,
kidding. Yeah.
you got to live, you got to experience that, you got to put it down, and then it's kind of like a flower, right? Like sometimes you put a seed and maybe it comes out 10 years later.
True.
So in the immediacy required today for like things to really for the algorithm to love something and to keep giving you what you want. It's just I think it's super unhealthy, and it doesn't fit art. It fits content making. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's actually a podcast is kind of a perfect thing because you just talk
Yeah.
and then you can maybe get, I don't know, dozens and dozens of clips from just one talk
True.
and just put it out. But it's a different beast. I cannot do the same with the music.
Yeah.
And if I start to do the same with the music, then I just feel like shit.
Yeah. Makes
It's the
sense.
worst.
Yeah. It just kind of commoditizes it and it doesn't let it stew or doesn't let it breathe. No, I agree. I feel it's so fun how many like reflections in art or even like this conversation about art you see in like relationships or just life in general. Like it really is the good things need to stew. You need to take your time with them because like nothing really of substance comes when you start to commoditize it or just make
Yeah.
content. It's kind of brutal because you have to when it's your job a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a weird
But
balance.
how have we ended up monetized? Everything is monetized.
Yeah,
Everything is seen, like anything that you post will have next to it a number of likes,
I
maybe a
know.
price tag, and everybody's just obsessed. And like all these people online, like, do this and you're going to make. I just made $19 million in 2 days,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm 15 years old, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's crazy. Oh my gosh. Gosh, yeah, I don't really know how we got here. I feel like maybe it was inevitable once we set up the system to just like make sure everything makes us money,
right,
then everything needs to, and I don't know. I guess it was bound to happen to some degree. But
yeah,
I guess I don't even know where it can go from here because we're kind of like end of the line. I don't like everything has to make money and like what are we gonna take now? What's left to take kind of, which I guess is just more of our attention, more
it's
of
very dark. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't like it. I don't like that it's kind of
no.
leading that way so much. But I don't think it's like the worst thing. I think there's potential for like the future, for sure.
Your parents are in the arts, and which type of art, like, and how have they informed how you make art and how you see it?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, my parents. I'm really thankful that they like have that artistic nature. My mom, she's kind of just like an artist all around. She was drawing and creating and painting. She was going to school for fine art, and then my dad, he's just like a videographer, photographer. And then my parents, when I was growing up, they ran like a joint wedding photography business for my whole childhood. And I think as a kid, it influenced me to like not want to be an artist actually. Growing up, just kind of saw the struggle. And I kind of thought to be an artist, you have to be like a starving, unsuccessful artist. Like I thought that was part of the gig, was that you kind of, there's like the no true Scotsman fallacy within artists where if you're suffering, you're doing art right to some
Right.
degree. And it was a weird impression of art growing up. And it's interesting how you kind of just like naturally, when you're artistically inclined, you find your way back into it. Like even though I think I wanted to become somebody who had like kind of an organized life as a kid, I ended up kind of just with a chaotic artistic life anyway because it drew me back in. And I'm
Right.
actually really thankful because
Yeah.
I think that's just really beautiful. And I think my parents really did instill that in me in my childhood. So like I'm curious to the people whose life experience grew up with really unartistic parents and like how they find their way into the arts because I was given such a great model for how it can look and be lived. So yeah.
What do you think you learned from them?
Oh gosh, like everything. Man, I like traveled with my
Anything
parents and
specific, like
yeah,
a
that's true.
thing that you can?
I think the way they hold themselves in art, I've always really admired because they've never let it define like their identities fully, and I think they just hold their own power in that because if and when art starts to like become your identity because it is so personal,
Yeah.
it controls you, and then it's just really it's lost a lot of its like potency if it controls you because you're scared to share it, or you're scared to like really follow through on the impact it can make just because you'll be hiding from that judgment or that perception. So I'm thankful that they modeled the ability to like separate from their art and put their identity elsewhere.
And how do you manage that?
It's tricky actually. I think in the beginning I did put my identity in my art quite a bit, and you'll feel it because you'll feel it when you get a hate comment, like somebody just kind of like clowning on you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
When it kind of hits you in your gut, it just has kind of like always been a signal to me that I need to reappropriate where that like identity lies. So a lot of like a place I find massive fulfillment now is people. Like people are just such an endless well, and like you always just feel that coming back out once you like pour into relationships. So I'd say like diversifying your identity. You know, you're not just like an artist. You're like you can be a friend, you can be a son. I don't know, all the things. It's like feels like cliche to say, but when you live it, you can really experience it, and then like kind of own your own gut. But
And I feel like then you can actually create art and things that actually connect.
oh yeah,
Or like if you're too much in the bubble and then like that thing that you said where like a lot of artists feel like they have to suffer and live like the artist life and this thing and be in a bubble and they're special and like, I don't know, I just think like it's just the complete opposite.
it is kind
It's
of
almost like the more open that you are, the more willing to step into different shoes that you are, the better your art is going to be.
definitely.
And also like not marrying to it. I don't know. I feel like I love walking through different types of making art.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what makes things exciting.
Oh yeah.
If I was making music every single day, I would hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be boring as hell.
Oh yeah.
Because then it would feel like a job. Then it would feel like,
It so becomes a job. It's so
Yeah.
easy for it too. Yeah, I feel like it's so fun personally to like experience the growth and change as you like make art yourself.
yeah.
It's fun to like feel it as you change mediums, change experiences. and
Yeah.
that's one of the best parts of it. So you do get pigeonholed, especially when you are like in the content world or whatever, and you have to make art for a
Yeah.
living. You end up making the same stuff so often.
Yeah.
And like art is such a reflection of life. If you're not out there having like relationships, like living, traveling, doing all the things, your art doesn't really have like much to pull from. It just kind of becomes an echo chamber. And
Yeah.
like the best art is always coming out of like people who are living. I feel like
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you don't need like the discipline and the work ethic and just
Yeah.
to really go and I mean, you're 50 hours that's insane.
Yeah.
Like 10 hours at a time. I feel like that's so incredible. And how does that help you? Because it almost sounds like meditation. Like if you're
Yeah.
just zoning in.
oh, it's so
Sounds like
great.
the opposite to like the TikTok effect where you're just like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
like the whole thing.
It kind of is. I think there are parts of my job which, yeah, you have to like lean into the content part of it. Like I film a lot of like behind the scenes content and all that stuff, but no, the love comes from like the flow state. Like you kind of know you've hit something good when you like sit still through something for like 8 hours and you don't want to leave, you know?
Yeah.
And you just kind of zone through time. Like people are always like enamored with how much stop motion or claymation, like it's a craft and like I don't know, you don't really experience it that way because the time just flows anyway. You're kind of just
Yeah.
there and in it. I feel like people find their flow states in so many different things, and
Right.
I really enjoy working with my hands and like watching something come to life. I don't experience it as like exhausting, or it's not like math homework. Math
Right.
homework needs patience. Claymation doesn't.
Is there anything that you would say to like maybe a kid or just a person who
Yeah.
wants to maybe create something, and maybe claymation has been there and
I think it should stay alive. Like we've just got so many arts, and they've been making a renaissance, which is really beautiful. But all these old crafts, and I think that it's just like people should try it, and I think kids do actually. Like I get a lot of people being like, "Oh, I did this as a kid," and I think stop motion specifically is like wildly accessible. You really just need a camera.
right.
And honestly, you can do it with a flip book. Like
Right.
you can kind of do it, and I guess you don't need a camera. Like I think it's great for kids because it does open up that specific like barrier to entry. Like filmmaking and art that has such like feels like it has a high bar to like enter into the space. But you really can like make something that looks really high quality like on a desk with like a camera. And
Yeah.
stop motion is just like one of the most like it's candy, man. It's like
Yeah.
you just want to eat it up because it's just fun, like really fun, and it's not exhausting. Like I wouldn't tell every kid to get into Blender because holy,
Right.
There's so many buttons.
I know.
It's so stressful. So I think claymation is like you literally just take this little dude and you move him a little bit and take a picture, and kids bite onto that. And I think it's a great starting point. There you go.
I don't even know what this is. It's like an alien.
It's awesome, and it could move like that. See, it's just endless opportunity. So I think it should stay alive, and I think people should like do it, or like I think a lot of parents should introduce their kids to it,
Right?
Because if nothing else, you get a kid like distracted for 4 hours, and you can like breathe in and breathe out while they're playing. So if not, it's just like kind of
This
a go-to
is
method.
get your children to do this instead of the iPad.
Honestly, yeah, don't give them an iPad. Give them like literally a pile of clay.
Like this is something, oh God, yeah, I've seen it happen. I talked about it in the talk yesterday. I've seen it happen so many times where like a child is, being noisy or whatever, and people just give them an iPad or a phone and they forget about them.
Oh, I have my fingers crossed that like when my generation has kids, we're not going to do that.
I really, really hope so.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to. I was raised without a phone until I was like 14. And then I didn't really have an appetite for it even until I was maybe like 18. And I'm really thankful for that childhood. And maybe it's because I just see the other side right now, and it's like the grass is always greener, and I just like am enamored with it because it's what I had. But I think there's like truly like a lot of life lived in the gaps, and like I don't know if you're just stuck on a phone, oh man, you just lose so much.
I feel like in this case we can generalize.
Yeah,
we can definitely be like our nervous system is made for this. Like you just do this and it makes you feel.
Oh,
good.
It's so good.
But we're not made for the machines.
No, and it's annoying because it's like
it hollows you from the inside.
It does. It's got that same feeling that art has when you hit that flow state where the time is flying by, but it's in TikTok. It's in freaking endless vertical, like brain rot. I just don't know. You don't get anything out of it. Yeah. Like go doom scroll for an hour and tell me one TikTok you saw, because you're not gonna.
No.
It just doesn't work that way.
You can't retain anything. It's.
Oh my gosh.
It's demonic.
It is kind of.
It really is demonic. I think like the worst horror film doesn't even get near, because this is like you just don't think it's harmful because it's like, oh, cute puppy,
I know,
cute whatever, and like, oh, an interesting thing about science. I'm not wasting time, and then someone's butt or whatever. Yeah. And he's just on and on and on, and then you realize it actually ate hours from your life.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I don't know, like until you have those like muscle memory things to pick up instead of a phone, you just don't like think to do it. And you have to like take one step outside of the line of intentionality and build like systems for yourself. Yeah. Like I literally had to take the apps in my phone, which I'm not like allowed to remove because it's my job. So annoying. I would try like the no phone thing if I could. But I mean,
get a second phone one day.
That might be good, yeah. Like tape it to the roof so I have to work for it or something. But like I legitimately, what I did was I just switched my app with TikTok for my chess app. Mm-hmm. So now every time I like muscle memory open TikTok, I open chess and I'm in a chess game and I'm stuck in a 20-minute chess game. And I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I got to lock in. And then I lose my appetite for TikTok because I get so lost in a game of chess. And that's been my only way that actually got me to stop doom scrolling, because I've tried other things. I've tried deleting them. I'll re-download them. Like I got to like trick myself. Like it's so much work to just escape the system of it all.
It really fucking is. It's insane. I really think that what you're doing is quite profound. I think it is the counter to that insanity. Yeah. It's like, so if that's demonic, then this is holy.
Yeah.
It really is. Because literally just give a child some clay.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the iPad, or give them the iPad, but use that for stop motion, because it has like the app for it.
It does. Right? Yeah, there's free apps for stop motion. I think parents might just like forget what it's like to be a kid. Cause like maybe I'm getting too much on my soapbox here, but like I really do remember as a kid being enamored with everything. I'd spend an entire day with one bug. Give me one bug in a jar and I'd spend an entire day. Yeah. And I think it's just because there's so much curiosity as a kid. Yeah. Everything's so new that you can truly lose yourself in a block of clay for hours. Yeah. But when you're a parent or when you're an adult, you've consumed so much that you forget that that's an option. So you give the
Right.
kid the same system you use to pass your time, which is the iPad, which is wholly overstimulation. Like, I don't even know if I was a kid and someone handed me any sort of like YouTube brain rot, I think it would maybe fry my brain
Oh yeah.
because like, you can pull so much more out of so much little, so much less like as a kid. And I don't think you remember that when you're an adult.
I know wonder kids are going to have all these problems, and then they'll medicate them. So then they'll be
Yeah.
medicated.
Oh.
I've seen kids with like two screens at once, like they're
Oh
like
yeah.
doing this, and
It's
like
so brutal.
their brains are developing. So instead of them like learning 5 languages, which like they say like before 3,
Oh, yeah,
like
you
your brain
can.
is super. You actually can. Instead of doing that, they're just learning how to have like 3 screens in front of them and how to do this.
Oh my
and-
gosh. It's yeah, they can doom scroll like nobody else. But holy, I don't know what skills that's gonna lead to. I would like to not be doom and gloom about it. I'd like to think that it's gonna bring about like even more like change for better. Like maybe this generation that's so brain rotted will feel their effects and like really push back from it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think it's up to us and people like us to like really. But I think this is a good hill to die on.
yeah, no, I agree. I kind of have like staked my flag in the ground to be pretty like against like the commoditization of it all and against AI for sure because it's just gonna kind of keep getting deeper this well of kind of unhealth. And I don't really know. I don't know if there's anything we can really do because the power comes from the money and the money is following the innovation. But if we really can like demonstrate, that's about the best I know I can do. Like demonstrate that it's very doable. So making
Yeah.
it feel achievable and like giving the systems to people. And like this is a great way to do it because it's actually like given as a formula rather than just like leading by demonstration. But yeah, I guess is all we can really do is like make art and hope people watch and like realize they can do it
Yeah.
themselves.
If we have time to doom scroll, we have
Yeah.
time to create
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is. We forget about rhythm and how to move the body, and it's so important.
Oh yeah.
That's my hill to die on. I think everybody should know how to dance. Like you don't have to be a prima ballerina.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you just move.
Yeah, be
And that's
comfortable
it.
with yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Just be comfortable with your body. It'll make you healthier. It'll make you happier.
No kidding.
It's like a drug. The
Oh
most
man,
beautiful kind.
I don't
yeah.
feel like many people dance. Like I'll go to bars. Me and my buddy Caleb Shaw, we dance like nobody else. We were backpacking around Europe, which was so much fun. And we would go into a bar and no one would be dancing. And we would dance to the point of where people were filming us and like posting videos about it because we were the only ones dancing.
Right. It's
But
like
a lot
an
of
anomaly.
It is.
Like, well,
And everybody's like, it's all these people who are just like 21, 22 who are like embarrassed.
right.
And it's sad because like
Everybody's embarrassed of being cringe.
people are embarrassed of being cringe. People are embarrassed of being filmed and posted.
Yeah.
It's like you feel like you got to be constantly accountable because people are watching and there's judgment. And just because everybody is related to somebody, like sending a video to their friend being like,
I know.
clown on this guy. And then everyone's like scared.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I think if you can find one friend to do it with, like I'm scared to dance alone. I really am. Like I get in my head.
Yeah.
But like literally just my buddy Caleb, we'll just dance endlessly. So that is kind of what you got to do is find people
Yeah.
around you who are also encouraging you. And it
Or even just do it alone in your house. You
Yeah,
know,
true.
Or go take a class or
That's a good
whatever.
point.
I've
Oh, it's
even
so
done
fun.
like Zumba classes with like a bunch of like older women. You
Oh,
know, like,
yeah.
they're just saying like whatever.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's nice.
That's really special.
So what's next in your world?
Yeah.
Anything that you would want to share?
Yeah, I think kind of on the same thread we've been on. I like being more of a voice. A lot of what I create, the first couple years I made art, I didn't have my face or any sort of identity associated with the art. So I think in the future, in order to hold like that power to be able to like influence people to make art, you kind of need to be a face a little bit. Just so that people can relate, like you can hear their voice.
Yeah.
So my future in content, I want to be more present in it as an actual person and like share the experience and like actually make it something that people can consume and pull from. Because when it's interpretive, like I like when people are like, wow, I pulled this from it.
Yeah.
But it's more meaningful to me for people to pull life experience. So down the line, I'd like to be more involved as like an actual person. And then I also want to tell like longer stories. I want to, because as much as you can say a 15-second like claymation that's like creepy and weird is a story. It's just not quite. Like it's a palette. It's like a mood board, but it's not changing people's minds on ideas. It's not like sharing experiences. And
It's
I would
not
love
forcing
that.
them to engage for a long
It's
period of
not.
time.
It's still just the fodder. It's still just like pulling emotions to go straight to the next thing. So
And how does that look like? Like feature films or short films or like what kind of?
oh, I mean, I have some aspirations. I really would like to make like an animated show. I grew up watching like Gravity Falls and like all these animated shows. I grew up on some of the old stuff like the Smurfs or the Jetsons, like these 80s cartoons, and like I really like love slapstick and all these like things, and I feel like they influenced me as a kid a lot. And I think cartoons is just like where I'm headed in the future.
Nice.
I really want to be involved in like even just releasing it on YouTube, making like a pilot episode and see where it
That's
takes
the
me.
way now. Right?
Honestly, it is. And just tell some stories, like make people's days a little brighter. And yeah, I'm gonna start with short films. I've got a couple in the works, getting them loaded up, and then just gonna try for YouTube and see if people resonate. But no, yeah, I've done a lot of the fodder. I've played the game for a minute. And I just don't think it's really changing anything. So, got to start moving it in a different direction.
Great. And you're so young and you're so talented.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
You have things to say. It's great. And again, I think this is a great hill to die on, for lack of a better term. I think it's really great. Get people off their phones.
Definitely.
Off their asses and onto the face-to-face, the tangible creativity.
Make a shout into the wind, you know? It's kind of all we got. Just like a big yell into the void and see what happens from it.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Can you finish that sentence?
Yeah.
Or like,
don't freak out. There's people out there who still care, and just go find them, because they will take the time and be like truly there for you. So yeah, don't freak out.
Don't freak out. Right.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's so
Thank
awesome.
you, Ben.
Thank you. This is so fun.
What did you make? Oh wait.
Oh yeah, what did I make? This is Bobby Bean, my little guy. I didn't animate him. I got too lost in thought, but yeah, this guy. I've got all sorts of videos of this.
Which
same
camera
dude.
is good for that one? That one?
Oh, sure,
okay.
yeah, yeah, Bobby Bean. He's like a little clay dude. There's videos of him like falling off of stuff and getting squished online. So yeah, he's real.
And
then again, I've worked on a new dude. This guy's lengthy. I don't really know what's going on with him. He didn't get eyes, but he's like a freaky little guy. I like to think that he's like wiry and a little bit awkward, where he'd like go in for a hug, but like accidentally wrap around somebody because his arms are so long and like kind of choke them. I don't know. There's like a lot of... See, there's so much you can make. Just kind of like make stuff. And I actually made 2 more Bobby Beans.
A little family.
This one's like grayed out, and then this guy's like holding his own little like baby version of himself. Holy, all I could do was like muscle memory make the guy I make all the time. I was so lost in thought that I just like made the same dude pretty much 4 times. But what did you make? Show me your creation.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. It's like a modern art, alien.
Yeah.
Thing. It was more about the touching the clay.
Yeah, just the feeling of it.
The Play-Doh.
Dude, people talk about like a spaghetti
so
monster. There's some kind of like cult that worships some spaghetti monster. I think you just found it.
This is it.
I think that's him. That's crazy. You pulled it out of the void.
Great.
Wow.
All right.
It's so beautiful. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, Ben.
This is so great.